off-ice skating jumps. Woohoo! If you want better singles, doubles, and triples, we gotta do these jumps off ice. This video is for you. Hope you guys are ready for this one. Usually I have shoes on whenever I'm doing off ice just to protect my feet and ankles. I have no shoes on today because I'm in the yoga room, so just pretend. For our first jump, we're gonna warm up with the basics. Starting from the first jump, we all learned the Walts jump, 1/2 revolution in the air. Off ice is a little tricky because we don't have that momentum and speed we have on the ice, so let's start off with a little bit of either walking or some hops. As a rule of thumb, off ice, we're gonna try to get our jumps up as high as possible before rotating, and B, when we land, don't just stick the landing, hop out the landing so there's less impact on the joints in our body. Another way to do the Walts jump is with the bell Walts jump. This is a great exercise for the axle. Just like a Walts jump, try to get up nice and huge in the air. We're just gonna click our ankles together real quick and land. Just practicing for when we do the axle, because for the axle, we gotta get into that jump real quick. Now that we warmed up for the axle, let's do this. Same as the Walts jump, we're going to be running and skipping on a slight lean and curve. Remember to take off outside the circle. Another fun and super tricky off-ice axle exercise is to do it from a lunge and involve ourselves in the air. I like this exercise because it forces us to get to our tippy toes of the lunge to get into the axle. Just like on the ice, we need to make sure we're accurately hitting the toe pick every time. Now, let's hop into the Salchow. Salchows are a little tricky to do off the ice because usually we do it with either an outside 3-turn or a mohawk entrance, and we have that momentum. So off ice, we're just gonna pre-rotate and hop around a 3-turn to get some momentum before taking off. For our next jump, the toe loop. On the ice, on the toe loop, we have a weight transfer after the 3-turn. We do the right inside 3-turn, and then we shift our weight to the left toe pick. Off ice, it's hard to stimulate that without accidentally doing a toe axle, which is when you take off forwards instead of taking off nice and backwards, because remember, the axle is the only jump in figure skating that takes off from a forward edge. So make sure, practicing this off ice, you are taking off backwards. We can do this with either A right inside 3-turn, or B, left outside 3-turn, which I almost prefer because we have that nice opportunity to do the outside 3-turn, reset on both feet, and then transfer and take off. Now for another edge jump, the loop jump. We're going to hop around, if you're a righty, on our right foot, just to simulate that edge. We're gonna bend and then spring up into the air. For the flip jump, it's hard to simulate an inside edge off ice. So remember that we're taking off on the inside edge when we are practicing it off ice. Same thing as the other jumps, take a couple hops to stimulate the outside 3-turn, or if you take off with a mohawk. Woohoo! The last jump is the Lutz. Remember, the Lutz takes off at an outside edge, so when practicing off ice, visualize yourself taking off in a nice back outside edge. We're gonna simulate it by going backwards from a lunge position, doing a few ops, and popping up nice in the air. Subscribe and save. See you guys next time. Happy skating!